A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining in for another week of uLaw CPD webinar. Sorry, just uLaw webinar, my bad. Last week was a CPD, but next week is a CPD again. Just letting all of you know, every alternate week we try and accommodate CPD sessions. We are entitled to about 12 to 15 hours CPD per year, so we have about, that's what we can give. So every alternate week, so which means twice a month, there will be a CPD. The non-CPD topics, we make sure to cover certain important areas on uLaw program that are, maybe a little doubtful to all of you, may not be very familiar. Some areas that are very, very, doubtful in terms of how to add things into the program. So that is what we take as a base to choose topics. You might see a lot of repetitive topics. That's because we have more new joinees coming in every other week. So today's topic is document management simplified. We're going to be talking about how you could efficiently use a cloud-based program with uLaw. So uLaw is also a cloud-based legal practice management solution. As you all know, you're using it. But how can you use documents also on cloud and integrate it with program in order to keep a track of all your data in one place, including the documents of your clients, of what you issue to clients or what your clients give you, like driver's license, etc. How do you store them? How do you save them? How do you integrate with uLaw? This is exactly what we're going to be seeing today. As I already mentioned, today's topic is not entitled for any CPD credits, but it's definitely a very useful topic, something that all of us are keen and eager to learn, because the offices are slowly moving from physical paper form to all on electronic data, keeping them secured. And at the same time, not only keeping them secured, but also keeping them in one place. So how does uLaw help you with that? So let's say you have a Google Drive. Let's say one uses OneDrive, because I'm a Microsoft fan. I use OneDrive. I'm a Google fan. I use Google Drive. So whatever you can use. Yeah, some people use Dropbox too, but uLaw integrates only with two key players, which is uLaw plus Google Drive and uLaw plus OneDrive. There might be options in your settings for that drops down that says Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, but we clearly integrate only with Google Drive and OneDrive. For you to introduce, for us to introduce you into what are the key players in this area of expertise, which is cloud-based document storage. We have added, of course, Dropbox in there, but very, very clearly letting you all know that uLaw plus Google Drive and uLaw plus OneDrive. We integrate only with Google Drive and OneDrive. And we keep getting many questions to our support saying that, hey, G3, I'm trying to connect my Dropbox to uLaw. No, we don't integrate Dropbox. So if only you are someone who uses Google Drive and OneDrive, you can connect that to uLaw account. But sorry, I have someone questioning about substantiative hours. I don't think, Roger, uLaw doesn't do substantiative hours for CPD. We only do professionalism hours. But if you're, this is not even a CPD session, so I'm not sure about that question. Maybe, Steph, you can take it offline on a separate chat and help Roger. But let's move on with today's topic, which is, again, document management. Like every other webinar, we do have a set agenda for today's webinar. We're going to be discussing about how cost effectively you can handle your documents on a cloud-based solution or platform, and how, if you're furthermore using Google Drive and OneDrive, how you can use uLaw, how we can set it up, and how you can efficiently keep a track of your documents in one place. That's what we're going to be seeing today. So if you are not using a cloud-based, document storage system, it's high time you start using one. I would suggest please use any one of these drives that uLaw can integrate with, which is Google Drive or OneDrive. And you will be able to probably store all your documents in one place, in a Matter for all your Matter-related documents, and under Accounts for all your accounting-related documents. Now, besides that, what are the uses? What are the plus or pros of using a cloud-based storage system? Definitely cost-effective and convenient for you to use it, because just imagine you're going to be printing thousands and thousands of pages and trying to file them, trying to store them physically somewhere in the office or in your home office. Somewhere you need to find a spot. You're going to need more space. You need to find a bigger rental space or whatever. So overall, cost-effective and convenient to use, because first of all, it's not physical; it's electronic form. And then second, you can get up to 15 GB for free in Google Drive, up to 5 GB in OneDrive. Now, this is something maybe beyond that, if you still need, obviously, some of them might have to want to store their audio recordings of conversations, correspondences with their clients, because 15 GB is good enough for documents, photocopies, for driver's license, etc., things like that, like PDFs, PNGs, but might not be good enough if you're someone who records conversations, who wants to upload all of it under the drive. So for people like them, you can pay slightly additional cost for Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever you're comfortable using, and you can still integrate that with the program. When I mean integrate, how do you integrate that? I will definitely walk you through that in a minute. But what are the other pros to this? First of all, you can use from anywhere in this world. You don't have to literally stay in your office to look up for a file, or probably go to your home office to look up for a file from the cabinet or anywhere else. You can just look up for a file from anywhere, any device, as long as you have a login ID password to it. Again, secured access, and you keep having automated backups every other day. And you can upload, like I already mentioned, multiple formats of documents. Can be in PNGs, can be in PDFs, can be in audio, video recordings, whatever type of document format or recording format you want to upload into your Google Drive, you could do that, or OneDrive too, any other drives. And everything comes with a plus and a minus, and there are, again, pros and cons to it. Some cons are, yes, if you need to be on cloud, you need internet, and that I consider it's not a big con. The entire, in the last 4 or 5 years, I've been using Rogers, and let's say, for example, Rogers, but any internet service provider for that case, there's only once I've been left without using internet, which was probably around July, the mid of 2022, but there was a big outage. But other than that, there has never been a scenario where we've all been without internet, gone without internet at all. So this is technically not a big con, but there is, extremely sorry for that. Might be something to do with our join me. Apologize. Yeah, so we were talking about the cloud-based program using Google Drive or OneDrive, Dropbox, anything with uLaw. And with uLaw, it's Google Drive and OneDrive. So using a cloud-based, there are certain pros, there are certain cons. Pros are definitely what we already discussed about. Cons, just to go through what we discussed about pros, it's cost-effective. You can store anytime, anywhere. You can access the device. You can use it securely. And like I said, there can be multiple formats in which you might want to add in a document and use it, and you're able to use it. And you're able to also at the same time access all your documents together in one place. So those are the pros. And when it comes to cons, yeah, so you might need the internet. There are some storage limit spaces that you might need to increase, and you might have to pay a price for it. And for the maintenance support, you need to make sure that the service provider SLA is being governed by maintenance support. So you need to make sure to check that before you buy or purchase a program, or in this case, the platform that you're going to be using for document management. And of course, there might be some lack of control. You might have to make sure they're nicely organized. All the files are in place, all that you're able to upload into the respective matters and respective account section. Because as I mentioned, you can, if you're integrating uLaw with one of them, you will be able to certainly have all of these details into the program, where you will be having all the documents for the clients under the matters, and all the documents for the accounts under the accounts. So let's see how we can connect this quickly so that you will get a fair idea on how this is being done. And then I will share the other links for, the Google Dropbox, etc. So right now you're looking at my uLaw screen, and this is my playground account. I will walk you through where it begins in case you all don't have document management set up with uLaw yet. This first thing you will have to do is you have to go into settings, you have to go into matter, and you will have to make sure that you have configured uLaw to be using Google Drive or OneDrive. Now let's say it is generally set up as none. Okay, that's how you, by default, we give you a program, we give you an account to you. It will be in none. But when you get into settings, when you get into matter, so settings has different tabs, to change password, to change your details, dashboard, you want to manage contacts, matter, etc. Now, let's assume that for matter documents, you have none. Instead of none, you're going to go ahead and click on Google Drive. I have Google Drive, so I'm going to be using Google Drive. I'm configuring my product to use matter documents with Google Drive. I save it. When I save it, I need to give access and authorize it somewhere. And that happens from the matter level. If you all see, there's a documents tab in the matter level. I don't know how many of you have been using it, but I will show you how to use it right now. So let's say you have a new client, and you're adding in the client's name briefly. Let's say the client's name. Save in matter. We're not adding any other document details there, like as in the matter details there. We're just straight away going into the matter. Let's say this is something to do with theft. And you see, this is a criminal case. You want to add another details. You're all much aware about that. So our focus today is on documents management. So let's see how you can add in all your documents into this program. So when you click on documents, you're authorizing your sign-in with Google, and you're continuing it. So my Google is already, my uLaw account is already using Google Calendar, and we're also using Google for Gmail docketing. So now the third services that I'm going to be using with Google is the document management. So for which I just authorized and clicked on Open Drive. When I open a drive, uLaw has automatically created a uLawPractice folder under which you have two different headers. One, or you can say you have two subheaders. One is for matter, another one is for accounts. When you go to accounts, you can add in all your bills, your invoices, your vendor invoices, your expenses for office expenses, if you purchase printer, if you purchase some specific, let's say you had some rental expense to be made and you have issued a check for that invoice, so you want to store that invoice and a copy of the check as well. You can go into the respective folder for that year, that month, and upload all the documents in there. So let's say, for example, I've uploaded HST for the month of September in the August, okay? So it totally depends on whatever type of documents you want to save for accounts purposes, it can go in there. All the common accounting information, documents that you want to manage, you can put it into the accounts folder. And when you go to uLaw and accounts, and there's a documents tab here. We're also used to seeing the transactions. I'm sure this screen is pretty familiar for all of you, but if you click on documents and you open the drive, this is where it will take you to. It'll take you to this accounts. And if you have uploaded anything, it'll go in there. We will try a couple of things. So let's say we are first addressing the accounts and then we go into a matter, okay? So we click on open drive for documents and the drive gets open and you're going to add in some document here. Let's say for the month of, for the year of 2023 and we're in Feb, I want to add a file into this program. So let's say I have my general disbursements, my fee book and all of this that I wanted. These are all common. These are not client related documents. So I enter them under accounts. So this is a difference between using the drive for accounts and using the drive for matter. If you're using drive for an accounts purposes, they're all generic documents. They're nothing to do with the client's respective document. You can then clearly add it here under the documents tab for accounts. You go back in here and simply click on refresh and you should be able to see those documents here, right? Anytime you want to review this, you don't have to literally go into your drive, open up that specific year, that month. You should just go to documents. It would be in transactions. You can shift to documents and you can simply look at this right from here. You want to look at expense book for the February, just click on that folder and you'll see that expense book is showing up right here. All right, so that is about document management for accounting purposes. If you have any documents, that is for your accounting, general accounting purposes, you can put them under your respective accounts and the documents will stay under that documents tab that you see here. Now, from the matters perspective, like I said, you have a client, the matter is there. Let's assume you're sending the client a retainer letter. You wanted a retainer and then the client gets this retainer letter, signs this, send it back to you. And when they send it back to you, it looks like this, and then they've signed it, all good. So you're going to be uploading it into your drive. When you upload it into your drive, you're going to open the drive and make sure that it is right there under the matter. uLaw automatically creates these matters. You can see all of these matters that you have opened file for. And for Ellis Mike, the matter has been opened with the folder name. So you can just simply upload the file. And I wanted to upload Ellis Mike retainer letter that I just downloaded a minute ago. It gets uploaded in here. And when you go to uLaw, you simply refresh the screen or the button there. You will see the retainer letter is over here. And it also clearly tells if you're in an office with few other users, let's say you have an assistant user, let's say you have an accountant, let's say you have a coworker, you want to see who's created this document, who's uploaded. It also comes with the name, a date stamp, and what is the type of document, whether it's a PDF or whether it is a PNG, whatever is the type of the format, format of this document will be seen up here. So the purpose is, let's say you're working on this matter, you're referring to, add a legal fee for this matter here. And when you add the legal fee, you decided that okay, I'm going to charge the client $1,000 and save it. And then you realized the client also paid you the retainer of $500. So you go into retainer tab and you enter the retainer, and suddenly you remember that the client, you're not sure whether you asked your client for 500 or what. So you want to quickly go into documents tab. And if your retainer letter is sitting in here, it's all the more easy for you to click on it and look at it. And you will be able to see, okay, I had asked for 500 or I've asked for 1,000. Oh, I have asked for 1,000. So let me go back in here and click on retainer letter. And I'm going to double confirm that if I've received that in my bank. So if I've received that in my bank, that is also another way for you to confirm, or that is actually one of the first methods for you to confirm. And you're going to double check that with your retainer letter. And if you have received the exact amount that you had asked, you then go ahead and enter that in uLaw and further proceed with adding the details and present Ellis Mike receipt. Now, let's say you're in the process of issuing a receipt. So you've issued the client with a receipt and you have downloaded it. It again goes into your computer. You don't want to clutter your computer more, or you don't want to lose this document in all the other documents that you have. So what is it that you're going to do? You're going to go back into uLaw. You're going to again click on Documents tab. So for every document you create in that day alone for Ellis Mike, if you have 10 documents, you don't have to literally open the drive and upload the document every single time. Let's say this time you've also completed the invoice because the client owes you another $130 because the invoice is $1,130. So you have 2 documents to upload now. So you can now go back into uLaw. You can click on Open Drive, and you can open this drive, which is your Google Drive or OneDrive, whichever drive that you're planning to use with uLaw, or you intend to use with uLaw. And you can open Ellis Mike's folder, and you can upload all the files that you want to do. So for Ellis Mike, I have retainer receipt and I have the invoice. So let me upload both of it over here. And then if I now go back into uLaw, simply click on refresh. As of now, you can see only one document, which is the retainer letter. But if you click on refresh, you will see the 2 other documents also showing up, which is invoice and the receipt that I just added in the same order. So you can now click on invoice. You'll be able to see the invoice, $1,000 plus taxes, what is pending from the client, have they paid it. So this will enable you to track down all the documents. Now let's assume they gave you, even before you started all this, they'd given you their driver's license, they'd given you their passport copy, their client intake form. Everything just gets come into this program, upload it here, and you will see all of those documents here. So the purpose behind having them all in one place is, let's say tomorrow you're traveling, you're not in your office, but you still want to attend the hearing virtually, or you want to prepare for the hearing virtually. You have all the documents in one place. Now that is how efficient and effective your business or your practice can get if you are trying to use these kind of practices where, you're probably utilizing the document management more effectively in order to connect uLaw to your drive. Just repeating again, since we were only seeing Google Drive, I have an option because I have a Google Drive. But if you go to settings, you go to Matter, you have other options too. But uLaw supports only Google Drive and OneDrive. Okay? So Google Drive, OneDrive. Google and Microsoft are the 2 platforms that we integrate with for the purpose of document management. Okay? So other than this, let's assume that you have had certain type of documents that you have been, let's say you've been missing. So you don't have to look up for those documents in terms of your emails, or in terms of, let's say, call up the client and ask them to come into your office to drop a copy to you. Instead, they can just mail you and email you, and you can just put them into their respective folder. So the main criteria is to avoid the paper trail and to have more of electronic trail, and also at the same time save that electronic trail in a form of a document management system that you saw right now. Now, when you go to Google Drive and uLaw setup, there are other things also that we saw that you don't have to share your password. You just signed in directly. You said that you're a Google user and you signed in, and it is just one-time setup. You don't have to, the same way I go back into uLaw now to do another client's matter, I don't have to literally sign in each time. I just have to authorize each time. Like when I go into a client's matter, I just have to authorize for every client's matter that I'm using. Like if I go into uLaw, I just have to make sure that I authorize and I open. So when I authorize, the file gets created automatically. Until and unless I authorize this one, I won't be able to open a file for this client. And when I open the drive for this client again, you will see a new matter created with a timestamp. So you saw at 2:15 p.m., I created the folder for Ellis Mike, and at 2:26 p.m., I was able to click and create a folder for Elsa. And for Elsa, if you upload everything here, let's say I'm just uploading some things that I already have, even though it's not for Elsa. And when you go back into uLaw, you simply have to click one-time refresh, and all the documents are going to be here. So that's what we mean here by saying when you're doing, Google Drive plus uLaw setup, you are able to just simply authorize and refresh. You're also able to do drag, drop, and organize. So it's something that you will be able to simply drag from your desktop and put it into the folder. So that way, you are able to save a lot of time. And if any client-sided document needed to be encrypted, you can do it prior to uploading them into the Google Drive. So that way, you are not just Google Drive, OneDrive, both. That way, you're not going to be short of all of those protocols that you have to follow. So make sure you're having all of them ready in that case, so that encrypted data, encrypted uploads happen. In terms of using Google Drive, OneDrive, they get automatically encrypted. So when you add in, it'll ask you whether it's if it has any virus in the document or such things. So there will be a prompt, definitely. And besides that, personally, if you ask me, benefits of using an integrated document management software is going to save a lot of time, makes it more, makes the data management, document management more intuitive. It will be helpful for you instead of wasting time searching or looking up for documents from various sources or places. Like one is in email, one is in your desktop, one is in your office in physical form. Instead of that, even if you get a physical form, now mind, scan it. We all have web scanners now. We all have cam scanners now. There's so many iPhone scanners. Just scan it and upload it into one place. Have one drive. It saves a lot of your time, especially when you're someone who uses software like uLaw and that integrates with two main cloud-based service providers or platforms like Google Drive and OneDrive. Why not utilize that option and make it more streamlined so that finally it's all about, accountability and better management, and at the same time ease of use. You were able to use it in a jiffy. Like literally, you saw me using it right now. I didn't have to go into several places to upload the documents. When I scan it, I upload it, and they're all in one place. I can access it anytime I want during the day. And most importantly, you have an activity history of who uploaded what, at what time the folder was created. Everything is readily available in there for you. But if you're someone who's not a uLaw user and you're attending today's session, I request you to sign up for today's session, sign up for the free trial after today's session, and let us know your availability, and we'll be more than happy to set up, any demos or any queries. Like I said, today's session will be a little shorter session than usual, as we are looking at something that is only for document management. I have some links that I would like to pass on to all of you. So there are some links like Google Drive and OneDrive. You can see how it works at your end. Especially, I'm again stressing upon Google Drive and OneDrive, basically because we have integration with both. So I will be sharing this link with you. So if you click on this link, it will take you into the respective page. So let me post this link for all of you, and you can take it from here. And likewise, we have Google Drive also. So Google Drive is also something that I would recommend all of you to use. And the best part behind using Google Drive is because uLaw connects or integrates for 3 things with Google Drive, with Google product as it is. One is Google Drive. Another one is Google Calendar. We also, I think there's going to be a separate session where we are going to be talking about only Google products that we integrate with. So there's going to be a separate session on just Google and uLaw, where we're going to be talking about Google Calendar. We're going to be talking about Google Drive, and we're also going to be talking about Gmail docketing, which is coming through obviously Google. So this is, or if you're someone who is curious, you cannot wait until that session. I'm not sure when that session is, but that should definitely be in the first quarter somewhere. But if you're someone who's curious to know about it, I would say click on Calendar and sign in with Google and sync here. You have both the options right here, and you can sign in with your Google Calendar. I'm briefly letting you know that, but that is only from the calendar level. But if you have anything from the matter level to be done, again, you have to come into the respective matter and sign in and authorize over here. So you have a sign in at the calendar level, and you have a sign in at the matter level also. When you sign in, don't forget to click on sync calendar. Okay. Now, I would like to open the floor for any questions, because like I said, this is a shorter session. If there's anything we have, I would love to. So someone has asked about OneDrive. So like I said, my program here integrates with Google Drive, but I don't have a OneDrive account, so I'm not able to showcase OneDrive here. But if you are someone who wants to learn Microsoft OneDrive like step by step, I suggest there is a new there's a new video on it. I can even, in fact, Roger, I'll share that with you on how you can use OneDrive. And no, OneNote. No, we don't have OneNote. We only have Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox. That also Google Drive and OneDrive only connects. I'm not sure. I need to ask my team why there's Dropbox in there, even though we don't connect with Dropbox. Maybe they've given it as an option, but we only configure with Google Drive and OneDrive. We as in only integrate with Google Drive and OneDrive. For OneDrive, it is exactly ditto of what we did for Google Drive. You just go in, click on Microsoft OneDrive, and then when you save it, it'll ask you to enter the matter. From the matter, it'll ask you to sign in with Google Drive. But otherwise, they'll just same. I've just shared some links for you all to pick it up, like the OneDrive and the Google Drive. Someone's asked, is there an instruction manual for uLaw? Yes, there's a, wow, Steph, thank you so much. Steph has already shared that there is an 83-page manual. This is available on SlideShare. If you are someone who likes to have like a manual in hand, you can print this. But if you ask me personally, uLaw has taken a lot of efforts creating something called uLaw Answers, search uLaw Answers. See, tutorials I know is very generic. uLaw Answers again is very generic, or it takes you to a list of videos. But search uLaw Answers is very interesting. I don't know how many of you use this. You can just simply go and type saying OneDrive, and you see how many videos are showing up for OneDrive. You can already see there are 2 videos that says, how do we set up OneDrive with uLaw? It's a nice video done by our support team. And there's one more video that says, how do you manage documents in Google Drive or OneDrive for accounting? So which I spoke the first few minutes about, it is not always the matter document. It is not always your client documents. You might want to also save your accounting documents, which are from accounts here. And you can always go into documents, and the folder is created for the respective year, respective month. And you can upload all the documents that are specifically for accounting purposes, that are not something generic. I have another question here that says, can you link it to a different Gmail account, not the same one you log in with? That's an interesting one. You can, yes. It is just that it has to be the same Gmail account used by your office across. Like if you have an assistant, if you have a coworker, it can be linked so they all can see it. But if you're a sole practitioner, yes, it is whatever you link the Gmail, Google Drive with, that is the account which will pull up all the documents, and you can definitely use different Gmails for, unless and until it is not across used by different, users in your office. Why not sync with OneNote? Good question. I have to ask my technical team. Why not? I'm definitely not a technical person here, unfortunately, Roger. I'm more of an accounting person, but I will have my team look into it. What suggestions are welcome. You can also email us. Every quarter we try and implement few new features. So I can ask my team, my development team, to take a look at least your request and get back to you saying whether it's something that we would consider or is possible, it's not possible. Steph, I just want you to make a note of Roger's request so that we can pass it on to our development team. Any questions? Any other questions? Anything that you want me to repeat? I would love to walk you all through. I'm sure that we saw how to upload documents from accounts, how to first of all, how to add your Google Drive or OneDrive from settings. How could you add documents for accounts purposes? How could you possibly create the documents and add into matters, so everything is there in one place. And we also saw, last but not the least, we also saw different purposes behind using Google Drive and OneDrive. What are the pros and cons? And end of the day, it all matters whether you're securely using the platform and whether it's saving you time and whether you're able to effectively make use of the resources that is available to you. So it'll be able to help you to manage your business, your firm on time better, and also keep an accountability and track of what you're up to. Because just imagine you're trying to find out some paper trail, and paper trail might not have a timestamp, paper trail might not have many details as to who it was received from, who gave you that document. Whereas when it is uploaded, who's uploaded this document, who's responsible for doing this document upload in the program. So you can always reach out to that person if you have any queries. So there's always an activity history involved when things are on records like this. So try to slowly switch over if you're an office who's already very, user friendly, eco-friendly. You want to make sure that you're slowly moving towards having everything on your cloud, and at the same time, and you're able to drag and drop, organize everything into one place, keep an accountability and track of it, and have ease of use. I think this is all what we are looking up today, making sure we're all in the same page, agreeing with one another that okay, yes, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I will utilize every single space that is available in my Google Drive or OneDrive, and if required, I would purchase more, because definitely purchasing space, storage on these cloud platforms much better than purchasing more paper and ink. End of the day, you're going to have access to it from anywhere in this world. I think that is what matters the most to all of us post-COVID today. So try and use, and uLaw is helping you with that. Why not use that feature is my point. So try and use it, and you have some extra additional questions, let me put it that way. You're welcome to email us on support@uLawPractice.com. Steph will be sharing some links right now. She will be also sharing she'll be sharing emails. So you can all send us email on support@uLawPractice.com. So you kindly let us know, give us feedback. What are some topics that you all would love to see us showcase from our end? So if you have any new topics that you want us to cover, all new topics are welcome. You can email us. We would go by vote. We'd go by poll basis. We will be able to bring at least, the idea is to bring at least one new topic every month. So we don't do repetitive topics. There's so many regular users of webinar. I want all of you to benefit from it. It doesn't have to be one topic for one whole 1 hour. We can all also take up 4 different topics and club it into one good webinar session. So I would recommend all of you to take a minute or two to even put it on the chat window here and say, hey, G3, we would love to see this topic in the upcoming days. Before you do that, I recommend you all to go on our webinar platform and try to see what is something that is available in there. So if you go on webinar uLaw.webinar/info.uLawPractice.com/webinar. This is the link. I'm posting it here, so you all can register. If you're not someone who's not registered user, I request you to register here, and you have a set of agenda that we give for first 3 months. Every 3 months we keep updating it here. So for the first 3 months, it's already updated. So if you see this week was document management, the next week we have a CPD webinar on getting ready for Law Society audits. I know that's a very interesting one. I'm going to seek some help from my bookkeeping team, see what are some pointers that we can bring in here, and so that we don't miss on anything. And there are many topics that's put down here or listed down here. I want you all to take a minute and go through this agenda that we've already prepared here for the first quarter. And if there is anything that is not seen here and you all would love to see it in the upcoming days, so before I start preparing for the next quarter topics, if you can send us a few suggestions on support@uLawPractice.com, it will be helpful. And besides that, we have some small announcement for LawPay payment collection app. They are running a campaign for about $150 credit that you can electronically avail between 45 to 60 days. And you can, it is definitely very useful in terms of using the LawPay. We have a separate session on how payment integrated system, like how we spoke about document management in the integration with Google Drive and OneDrive. There's payment integration also that uLaw does with LawPay and several other providers. So take a look at these links. They're very, very helpful. The campaign link is put in there. And we also have links for our Twitter platform, Instagram platform, YouTube. YouTube has tons and tons of videos that are helpful. And there are some tips that are available for you. And, last but not the least, I request all of you to email us on support@uLawPractice.com for any queries. And nice to see all of you coming in every other week. And any questions, please email us. Thank you. Let's keep the recording a little short. I'm going to stop the recording here, but I'm going to keep the webinar open for another 5 minutes for any other questions. and we'll call it a day. I know it's a little shorter webinar, as I already mentioned, but I look forward to hearing back from all of you for more suggestions for the next quarter, and we will keep doing our best to introduce more topics and give you a better idea as to how the program works. Thank you all for joining in and supporting us every other week. It's so nice to see so many of you coming in. Next week is a CPD on getting ready for Law Society audit, so don't forget to join in on time. It's a good 1 hour length topic, so we would be doing 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. next week. And in the meantime, any queries, we welcome you into support@uLawPractice.com. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening.